Hello, Ghost fans. Kathy here from Spectral Web Services showing you a new tool we're rolling out. Actually, two tools, both worth a check out. And those tools are the Bulk Actions tool and the Tag Wrangler tool. These are the tools that I think you'll find most useful if you're dealing with a large site, particularly if you need to make changes in terms of tagging strategy, finding old content, etc. And the existing Ghost interface just isn't cutting it. Um, and so let's go ahead. We'll start with bulk actions. And you can use this to use posts or to see posts or pages. And you can choose how many posts you'd like on a page as well. So if you'd like to look at a lot, that's fine. You've got a slower computer, maybe don't. Um, and then you might want to filter by tag. So let's say that I only want to see my posts with the environment tag. Okay. And then I can also filter by authors, or I can say, I want to see posts that don't have a particular environment, a particular author or tag. So you have options there. You can also choose by post status. Let's go ahead and apply those filters. It's going to think for a second. There you go. It says we're looking at page 1 of 4 with 100 items on this page. This tag is in pretty heavy use on this newly imported to Ghost site. And so then we can scroll down. Here's kind of the money view here. We can see all the different posts that have this tag. Did you read the thing up top? Hey, you really need to make a backup first. This is a very fast way to delete a heck of a lot of posts. So don't do that on accident. Please make a backup. Um, while the Ghost backup is not 100% complete, it absolutely could be used to restore some content if something went south. Okay. Um, all right, here we go. So we've got sort of our view here of what's going on. Kind of one of the first things I noticed is that this WordPress import is really, really tag happy, and perhaps there could be some benefit to weeding. Um, but we can sort of have a scroll through here. If we want to take a tag off a specific post, we can just click the X. Boom, tag is gone. If you want to delete posts, you can do that. If you need to edit the title, you can do that. You can also select, for example, let's say we're going to select, this selects all the posts on this page. It doesn't select posts on page 2 or 3. So if you have more than will fit on this first page of 100, you might want to change the number up here. But then for whichever posts we select, which might be all or some of them, we can choose to add or remove tags in bulk. We can set them all to draft. We could even delete them. Don't hit that button, although it will ask for confirmation. We can also bulk publish if you have a bunch of stuff that came in as draft for some reason and you'd like to turn all of it to published at once. I wrote the first version of this, called it Phantom Admin. Oh my gosh, 3 years ago, before Ghost had any bulk actions. At this point, it's a smidge repetitive with what you can do in the dashboard, but for any significant number of posts, I think you'll find it's faster. Um, but I'm interested to hear what you find useful. And for the quick, I'd like to pop this tag off that post. You can do that very quickly. So there it is. Have a look. Let me know how it's working for you. But again, let's also take a look at Tag Wrangler. Tag Wrangler is new, and my goal on Tag Wrangler was sort of to deal with tag consolidation problems of various sorts. So we'll demo that in a minute. You can do this with GC tools if you're comfortable on the command line. You have a whole node install environment already. Cool, feel free to do it there. But this is sort of my graphical. I don't want to spin a dev environment up. I just need to drop a few tags, and I think it's really pretty useful. So we can see here, and there's definitely some overlap with things you could do with Phantom Admin that you could do here, but I think there's some good stuff here. One of the things that I've noticed about this site specifically, I have a search for tags, it's the best, is that I have both an environment and an environment tag. Oops. So the way we would address that, let's go ahead and let's pick this environment tag. That appears to be the main tag in use. I'm going to make it a target. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up and drop this other little environment tag on it. Nothing happens, by the way, until we preview and apply, so don't panic. Okay. And then up here, we can adjust the behavior. So we are currently in replace mode, meaning we're going to replace anything that has this lowercase environment tag with this uppercase environment tag. We're going to maintain the same position. And then you can also, if you'd like, delete the tag after you do the action. Because my goal here is essentially to smoosh environment hyphen two into environment and then have environment two go away. Um, if you don't clean up your empty tags, your writers will continue to apply them and you'll be right back where you are another year from now. So it's a good idea to take out those unwanted tag targets. Okay, so I've got that. We could even decide that we want to deal with another problem I've noticed at the same time. And scanning and phantom admin may be useful here that I seem to have forever and forever chemicals both. So let's just go ahead and make forever chemicals without the quotes a target, and then we'll drag forever chemicals 2 on top. Okay. Note that if you delete tags, you're going to get a 404 page for those tags. So it's probably a good idea to keep track of what you're doing. That would be a good addition to this tool, wouldn't it? To keep track of what you're doing and to write a redirects file so that anybody visiting the other tag ends up at the first tag. Okay, so there we go. That looks correct. So we're going to we'll go ahead and preview. It'll show us what we're going to do. It's got to think about it for a minute. This site has 5,000 posts and a lot of tags. So it's letting us know here what's going to happen. It's going to retag 65 items. That sounds about right since we have both environment, we have 63 items, lowercase environment, and 2 items in forever chemicals. And then 27 of them are actually going to change primary tag. That's likely to be those lowercase environments becoming uppercase environments. It flags this for you because some sites use the tag as part of the routing. And so if that's the case, that's something you'd want to be aware of, that you might be accidentally changing post URLs in addition to tag URLs. Okay, so when I like how it looks, and we'll go ahead and we'll delete the replace tags while we're at it. It's going to make me preview it again. Yes, okay. All right, nothing has changed down here, but we're sure we're good. And then let's just go ahead and apply. And for this many items, it may take it, oh, there it goes. Okay, may take it a second or two. So, oh, it's still working. It's showing us how it's doing here. It does them in small batches. Um, it's still thinking. There we go. Okay. And so those tags should be gone. Looks like, oh, did I not delete those tags? Let's see here. We may need, I've got some caching going on. So I think, let's just get a quick read. There it goes. It just caught up. Takes a moment or two sometimes for the current state of the tags to catch up. So now we can see that instead of having 11 and 2 posts tagged forever chemicals, we have 13 posts tagged forever chemicals, all the same way. They're all going to land on the same tag page. Our authors are not going to be confused when they go to apply tags. And same story for environment. We now have a few more tags under environment. Let's look at the other thing we can do here. I'm going to say we're going to make selected tag a target. Okay. And this time we're going to add, and we're going to say that our position is going to be first for this tag. Okay. So I have like one post that's tagged agriculture and environment. But maybe I like that tag. Let me find a tag I'm more sure I like that really I might want to keep. Okay. Yeah, let's look at environmental health. It's a real tag. It's got 16 tags, but I probably also want it to show up in my big overarching environment category, which is how this site is envisioning their work. And so let's go ahead and drop that tag. I lost it. Let's go ahead and let's put it there. Okay. And so now what we're saying is that we're going to add the environment tag, and I've checked to make that environment tag the primary tag because that's consistent with what this particular site is doing. You could also tack it on to the end. Okay. Here we don't have a take the same position because we're not replacing. All right. And when we're happy with it, we'll preview it. And so some of our items will get a different primary tag, not surprising. The 3 that are not getting a primary tag are most likely already tagged environment as their primary tag. Okay. And so let's go ahead and let's hit apply. And it's thinking. Great. And there we go. And one other thing to show you before we call it a day is that we also have a history tab that shows us what we've done. Okay. And it'll show you what your work was here, what you mapped. I should get it to do the slugs too, because that would be useful if you forgot to write down what you'd done and needed to do some redirecting. It also has an undo button, but only for the most recent action. It does not give you 20 steps back undo. That's pretty complicated. But you do have a singular undo. So if you've messed it up, you've got that option. And that's all. Give it a try, check it out. Lots of good stuff available on the tools site, not just this one. So I hope that you'll take a look and see if you can find some things that save you some time.